commercially available barbell for doing the program, and how important is that?
Well, bar is the, what?
It's a decent question.
It's a decent question. The barbell is the one the bar is the one thing you shouldn't skimp on.
Yeah.
Don't get a shitty barbell. Plates are just weight. Plates don't matter, but you have to have a good bar. The best bar is the one that I designed for Rogue. And as far as the money you spend on it and what you get for the money, that's the best bar.
It's called the B&R bar.
The B&R bar.
B&R bar.
$300, you'll have it the rest of your life.
Other than Rogue.
Rogue is great customer service. If you've got a problem with anything you bought from them, they will fix it.
Yeah.
That nobody is in this business has ever treated customers as good as Rogue does. And there's no reason to do business anywhere else. Who'd you buy those shitty ass plates from that you? Muscle Driver is a criminal organization, and they're out of business now. You'll notice that they're out of business now. That's right. That's right.
Is that an all-purpose bar?
What? B&R bar? It's a 29 millimeter. Well, you worked with one at some point this weekend. You worked with one. You had one in your hands this weekend.
You can do all the lifts with it perfectly well.
Great bar.
Great bar.
Great bar. So that's what you spend the money on. $300. You don't need to buy an Alico bar for $1,200. You don't need it. There's no point in wasting that much money. You can own 4 other bars for the $1,200 you'd spend on an Alico bar. Just get a B&R. It's a fine bar. Ben?
You've got a detailed physical model of the lifts and a detailed coaching method. Which came first, and how have they changed over the course of your career?
Oh, that was interchangeable. It's impossible to sort all that out. I've been working on this for 30 years. The gym is 32 years old this year. I bought it in '84. And the day I started teaching everybody how to squat, bench press, deadlift, do the lifts. So I've been developing it every day for the past 32 years. Every day, every seminar we do is a tiny little bit different than the previous one. Every single one of these events, we have learned something and we stick it in there. We're constantly talking about this among the staff. What are we going to do to improve this sort of thing next time? What do we need to change? What do we need to improve? This whole thing has evolved a whole bunch over the past 6 years. This seminar this weekend is absolutely nothing like the first ones we did in 2010. Everything about it, when we learn something, we stick it in. It's constantly improving. So I'm not through.
Are there specific things that you're thinking about maybe for a 4th edition?
I'm not. That book, every time we print 10,000 books, there are a few little changes in it. I'm going over the book this summer, and I'm going to start at the front, go to the back, and we'll probably accumulate a whole bunch of little minor changes in this next printing. Instead of few, a whole bunch of them. I need to just go, it's been a while since I've read the whole thing. I need to start at chapter 1 and go through it and make sure that there's nothing in there that we've changed. And I'll put things in that we decided are better, take some stuff out. So that process, but that won't rise to the level of a new edition. Anytime we call a new edition, it's a total new layout, artwork, rewrite, total complete. Everything's different. So that's not planned, but a revision is. Okay?
In getting ready for our work sets today, we warmed up and
Right.
do that. What's the warm-up strategy?
It was empty bar for one set, empty bar for another set, 3 intermediate weights, and then your work sets. That's the warm-up strategy.
How do you figure out, say I go home and now I know what my work sets are, how do I know how to set up the warm-up?
It's in the book. You got the book. It's in the book. It's in the programming chapter. It's detailed in the programming chapter.
Plug the app, sell your app right now.
Yeah, there's the app. There's a warm-up app that calculates them for you. The starting strength app calls on the warm-up stuff and calculates warm-ups for you. But it's in the book. It tells you how to do it. What's the number? 225? Warm-ups would be 45, 45, 95, 135, 185, 225, 225, 225. That's how it's done.
Even jumps all the way up.
Even jumps from empty bar to work sets. Okay?
Could you give an example of what your training is? I know you've had some injuries. I think I read on the board you don't bench anymore. How often?
No, I bench. I've been benching the past year and a half. I benched 280 on my birthday this year. Deadlifted 500 on my birthday this year. I deadlift 500 a day, I think. I squatted 340 for a triple Tuesday. I've cut my squats down to triples, trying to see if that works. Tired of being sore all the time. So what I have found, and what most guys that are older that are still training effectively have found, is that volume is the enemy. You can still lift heavy weights, just don't try to do a bunch of volume, because you can't recover from the volume. The intensity keeps you strong, but don't try to do sets of 10. Jesus, that's just dumb. You're just sore all the time. You can't get recovered. Hey, you can't sleep anyway. You know, can't get recovered. Don't do such stupid stuff like a bunch of volume. That's for kids. You don't do that. So just lift as heavy as you can. Do fives and triples. Don't do a bunch of sets across. I squat once every 2 weeks. Deadlift heavy, pull heavy, whatever I'm going to do once every 2 weeks. Press once a week, bench once a week, do some chins. That's it. Try to constantly fight to run your numbers up. You can stay strong, you just have to approach it a little bit more conservatively. Okay?
Someone like John who was doing the wrong style of power cleans for a long time, or cleans in general, how long does it take them using the starting strength method to do our method?
How long does it take to change over? 5-6 minutes. Just pull your ass up. It takes longer here than it does here, because what we have found is that they'll argue with us. All of us guys have been doing these seminars together for a long time. We'll run into these USAW types, guys that have gone from CrossFit and decided they're going to be Olympic weightlifters. And they're doing 90 and 120. Okay? They're all doing 90 and 120. And they've read everything there is to read, and they've read Everett's book, and they've read at Artie Dressler's book, and then they've looked at all the discussion on the internet about what a piece of shit I am and what dumbasses everybody that does this are. And then they come to our seminar and they'll just, we're going to go show Ripto, right? And then we'll take them over there and put them on the platform. And we'll say, show me your clean. So they do one of these, and standard low hips clean and stuff. And then if I can talk them into it, I'll say, I want just to humor me here. Okay, I know this isn't going to work. Okay, I know you're right. And I know you've been doing this for a bit. Just let me see what happens here. Okay? So we pull the bar back over to the midfoot, pull their hamstrings into tight position, squeeze the chest up, get the hips nice and high, pull the bar off the floor like Kopytov did in the video yesterday. And the bar goes this much higher with the same amount of weight on it. And then they want to fucking start arguing with you.
The first thing they say is, oh, it feels so weird.
It's just so weird. God, I can't do that again. But wait, let me show you this video. It went this much higher doing it our way. Well, and then the back engineered argument starts about why that happened and why it's bad to pull the same amount of weight higher. faster and higher. Why that's bad? It's got to be bad because it's not the way they've been doing it. And that's been our experience, is these people just want to do it like they want to do it the way they want to do it. And so what do? Just leave them alone. Just leave them alone. They're Olympic weightlifters. There's 83 of them in the whole country, you know. There aren't any of them. It's insignificant. It doesn't matter. How does that figure into the grand scheme of what our job is? What's our job here? Get novices strong. I don't care what Olympic weightlifters do. It happens to be something I've done, but it's not my concern. You know how many men the USA weightlifting organization is sending to Rio de Janeiro this year? Same exact number we are. Exactly the same number of lifters. None.
I also have a radio question.
All right?
Larry Lujak and John Rutgers Linebackers. Did you ever know them?
No, I didn't know them. God, those guys are gods. I don't know them.
How did you know of them?
Well, I listened to the radio. Hell, I was a disc jockey when I was a kid.
Where at?
WLS 89, 890 AM WLS.
So I heard them too, but I didn't know you were ever in the area.
I wasn't in the area. That radio station comes in Texas at night. Oh yeah, AM radios in cars used to be good. And we listened to those guys every night.
Where's that based out of?
Chicago.
You could pick up Chicago on AM radio in Texas.
Yeah.
That's great.
It happens at night, and it used to happen more before they regulated how much power it was.
Well, FCC has always regulated AM radio in the United States. 50,000 watts was all. Now but they didn't have any control over what happened in Mexico. All right, there's a station in Mexico, XERF, that was 250,000 watts. Just right down there, 250. They would come in on the doorknob. You could hear them in your tooth fillings. You could hear. It was amazing. But WLS was a big station, and those are the disc jockeys we all tried to sound like. So
That's what I grew up listening
Landecker and Lujak.
to. Linebacker at night, Lujak in the morning.
Yeah, we had.
AM radio too, but travels. I don't know what the.
Well, the little bitty stations that are daylight to dusk radio stations sign off and get out of the way. That's what used to happen anyway. They don't do that anymore, but that's what happened. And it wasn't so much that WLS boosted their signal, but everybody else got out of the way. All the stations between Wichita Falls and Chicago that were also operating in the vicinity of 890 got out of the way, and you could hear them better. That's who we listened to too. We listened to air checks too. See, those guys people would go around to the radio markets and record those guys, and then come back and issue vinyl LPs with their air checks on it, called Bootleg Top 40. We'd get copies of that and listen to them. Try to sound like those guys. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Kara?
Something I was wondering about is with female trainees, have you ever noticed a drop in their lifts like about a week before their period starts? Yes. And if you would you put a deload in or build a deload in?
You know, I don't train enough girls to really answer that. I would imagine that somebody's noticed that.
I have a woman who's lifting in the IPF Worlds next week.
Speak
in the
up.
Masters division.
Wow.
I have a woman who's lifting in the IPF Worlds down in Kylie, Texas, in the Masters division next week.
He thinks it's Kylie.
I understand. Colleen. I'm from California.
You're from Pennsylvania. You're a Yankee.
She's able to lift through her periods. It's just she's left her like the week before. It's just she's less comfortable. She's able to. She doesn't get weaker. She's just less comfortable.
If it's any consolation, I feel like shit about half the time too. Okay, Troy,
What is the topic of your next book?
I don't have a next book.
Well, if you had one, if you write one, what will it be?
It was a dark and stormy night. I don't want to write another book. I have enough trouble writing articles now. I don't think I got another book in me, not right now, unless I have some revelation of some sort. I'm not planning on anything else. I can't write fiction though, so it had to be nonfiction.
It'd be weird if you did. Read the fiction book or not.
I can't. I don't know how people write fiction. I have no idea how it's done.
Vampire romance, maybe.
I don't know how to write it. I really have no idea how to write a story.
How many people do that think they do? Like I work in publishing. No, fiction's hard. All writing's hard. Fiction's really hard.
Fiction is amazing. I'm reading the Patrick O'Brien series right now, and that guy is so goddamn amazing. 22 books in that series. Anybody know what I'm talking about? How many people know the series, Master and Commander? How many of them have you read? First two? Well, they go on. And you know how you know those guys after the first two? Well, by the time you read 20 of them, they're your family. It's the damnedest thing. I mean, you've read them all? You read the first 5? You read the chase across the Southern Ocean between the Dutch Boxhamheid and the Surprise? It's in 4. It's in Desolation Island. That's the damnedest thing I've ever read. This guy's brilliant. I can't imagine how you write like that. The things that occurs to him to write about these people is just, he'll pull stuff out of his head that I can't, my God, how profound is this observation about human nature? And he's just writing about these 2 guys he made up out of thin air. It's amazing. Absolutely, no, I can't do that. Anybody can do it, is have a lot of respect for that, but I can't do it, and I don't understand the process. So no, I hadn't got another book.
My question kind of comes up.
Yeah.
I think Sid's question about the injury and that is kind of what mine is too, but just to kind of tell Sid about this, you know, I talked to you in mid-March about you took those 3 chunks of the knee.
Yeah.
And the doctor said, you know, 6 weeks, don't touch anything. And a matter of fact, I quote this now, the nurse that came in was giving me exercise prescription. She said, you can do any kind of upper body stuff you want to do, like leg presses and this and that. After that, I just didn't say anything. But
She said upper body, leg press.
Any kind of upper body stuff you want to do, like leg presses and this and that, and that's when I quit. I turned it off. But I emailed you about it, and I said, you know, they said like 6, 7 weeks of nothing. And I got,
absolute, like you're paralyzed.
I'm going to train for this, you know, get ready for this clinic. You know, to come
He had a clean out scope job on his knee. Took some meniscus out. They want you, of course.
They took out a couple chunks and found a piece that was floating around. But I mean, I talked to you and you said, get under a bar. You know, that was on a Friday. And you said, get under a bar on Monday. And I mean, I went from a bar on Monday to squat 315 on Friday, like 7 days.
That week.
Yeah.
7 days post-op.
It wasn't a big deal. Okay.
No, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
You guys, it's not a big deal. It's a big deal if you make it a big deal. But if you listen to these people about rehab, you will never get back to where you were because they don't know what to do.
It had been about a week or 2 ago I would have started lifting again. You know, but my question is, the doctor told me when I went in there and I got the surgery that I had to write it down and look it up. Synvisc 1. It's some kind of injection that they put in you that lasts for like 4 to 6 months. It's some kind of.
You got an opinion on that?
It's hyaluronic acid. It's a great way for physicians to augment their incomes. When they've got a patient that's got a degenerative joint, my recommendation would be squat,
know your limits. If you feel your joint getting inflamed, irritated on you, when I say take a break, that just means back off a little bit.
Did he do the Synvest or did he recommend that?
He offered it, I didn't want anything.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. Yeah.
The data's not good on it. You can look at the studies on it.
Yeah, I read more bad reviews of people saying they hurt worse after getting it.
Well, here's what happens. People either feel really good, or they notice nothing at all, or they feel really bad.
Yeah.
Right.
And so
That's kind of what they were going to do anyway, right? That kind of describes the spectrum. Right. That same girl.
Yeah, I would do what you're doing, man. I'd squat as long as you can, and when I say listen to your body, that means, if you do get some inflammation and swelling, try to get that swelling down, move the joint, motion's lotion. I always tell my patients that motion's lotion, man. Move, get that vascular system going. And the more you move, the more synovial fluid you produce. And what they're trying to do is regenerate. They're not trying to regenerate cartilage, but they're trying to regenerate some of the properties of your knee that make it work better. Synovial fluid, improve the cartilage that's there. But there's really nothing out there right now to do that other than exercise and squat.
So what is that? What is it that they're putting in the knee if it's not that? That's what they say.
Well, it's kind of like injectable MSM. Injectable chondroitin sulfate and.
Because he told me, he goes, this is like a cortisone shot, but better because it's going to last longer. And I said, well, I have one.
It's not like a cortisone shot, and that's bullshit.
Yeah, I said I had one.
If he actually believes that,
Yeah, he said,
he is not qualified to practice fucking medicine.
I wish I'd asked you before you operated on my knee.
What?
Well, you didn't let him do it though, so
No, yeah, I didn't know, but I had one cortisone shot a long time ago. I had a doctor talk me into it, and it didn't. I don't know that it did anything better or good. It just made my knee hurt like hell for about
One is
3
actually
days.
designed to cause a small inflammatory process in your knee and get your knee to producing more synovial fluid and getting it to lubricate better. That's the Synvest. The other one, if they give you a dexamethasone shot or a cortisone shot in the joint, it does
Catabolic
exactly the
steroid.
opposite. It's designed to shrink the inflammation down, but it also
Shrinks.
the healing process.
it shrinks everything else down too, because it's a catabolic steroid.
Hyaluronic acid is a molecule that is in between the cells of all living things. And it's a very stable molecule, so it's just a filler. In fact, that's what we use for lip augmentations and lines and things. It's just an inner. It's an inner filler.
Fucking women. God damn. All right.
I'm just curious what Mark Rubensville likes to do for fun. I know you love squatting and lifting and all that, reading books, but what?
I really don't.
You don't do anything that's fun, like
I don't
you're
like
not
to
a
train
fish-
that much
You don't like
anymore.
fishing. You don't like.
I don't
hunting.
fish, no, because I catch the same number of fish when I go fishing as when I don't go fishing. So I don't fish much. I've got a nice piece of property in Colorado. We go up there. So, I don't know. Hell, I don't.
Foodie.
Yeah, I just, put things in, shit them out,
Like quality shit or.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm a whiskey geek. We do, in fact, I just bought 4, I like to eat, so I bought 4, the guy out here west of town that raises sheep, and I bought 4 wethers from him, and they've been hanging now about a week. And we're gonna age them for about 3.5, 4 weeks. Those will be real good. And, just, whiskey, good wine, food. Chicago. I play the trumpet. See all this shit right here behind Nick? We rehearse in here in this room. And I was in the horse business for a long time. I sold my horse back in 02, 01, 02, and had to get out of that. Decided I needed to not get crippled, so I had to get out of the horse business. So now, I don't know, I don't really do that much anymore. Just hang out. Hang out, man. Hang with the homes. Hang with my homes. Be hanging.